Good evening, my dear friends. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of peace, a deep inner knowing that you're not in competition with anyone. Now, think about what it would feel like to no longer measure your worth against the success or achievements of others. Can you even imagine such freedom? If you've ever felt like you're constantly running after someone else's dreams, someone else's goals, or someone else's approval, you're not alone. The truth is, most of us have been caught up in this race at some point. But what if I told you that true happiness, fulfillment, and success are waiting for you the moment you stop running? In the next few minutes, we'll explore what happens when you finally stop chasing others and how this simple shift can change everything. Stick with me, because by the end of this speech, you'll have the tools to create a life that's uniquely yours and worth living. Trust me, the best part is yet to come. When you stop chasing others, you begin a profound journey of self-discovery. For most of us, life has been shaped by a constant comparison to those around us, whether it's about career achievements, lifestyle, relationships, or material possessions. We often measure our progress based on where others stand. But when you take a step back and stop chasing after others, you give yourself the freedom to look inward and discover your true desires, passions, and purpose in life. This shift can be incredibly liberating, allowing you to break free from the expectations and pressures placed upon you by society, family, or peers. Self-discovery in this context isn't just about figuring out what you like to do in your free time. It's about uncovering the deepest aspects of who you are at your core. You begin to realize that you are not just the sum of your accomplishments or the roles you play for others. You are an individual with your own set of strengths, flaws, dreams, and limitations. Stopping the chase allows you to explore and embrace these aspects of yourself without the constant interference of comparisons. When you stop chasing others, you also start listening to your own voice. The noise of society's expectations fades away, and you begin to hear what truly matters to you. What are your values? What is your definition of success? These are questions that can only be answered when you are no longer distracted by the success or failures of those around you. You start realizing that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's about aligning your life with what feels right for you, not based on what others have defined as the right path. In this journey, self-discovery also means recognizing your own potential and capabilities. When you're constantly looking at others and trying to follow their lead, it's easy to forget what you're truly capable of. You might feel stuck in the shadows of those who seem to have it all together. But once you stop chasing, you start to see the unique qualities and talents that make you who you are. This newfound confidence in yourself empowers you to pursue what truly excites and fulfills you without being shackled by the fear of failure or judgment. Self-discovery isn't a destination. It's a continuous process that evolves as you grow and change. By stopping the chase, you open up the space to explore new interests, hobbies, and passions that you may have previously overlooked or ignored. You might find yourself drawn to new experiences or career paths that you never would have considered when you were too busy following someone else's roadmap. In essence, self-discovery is about breaking the chains of external expectations and embracing the freedom to live your life according to your own terms. This process also reveals the beauty of authenticity. As you stop chasing others and start being more true to yourself, you become more aligned with who you truly are. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws people and opportunities that resonate with your real self, not some version of you that's been molded to fit someone else's idea of success. When you stop chasing, you stop pretending. In that space, you find your real power, your ability to create a life that is not just successful, but deeply fulfilling because it reflects your true essence. Self-discovery is about peeling away the layers of who you think you should be and uncovering the person you were always meant to be. It's not always an easy journey, but it's worth it. When you stop chasing others, You stop living for the approval or validation of the outside world, and you begin living for yourself. The more you embrace this new way of thinking, the more you'll uncover your true potential and what truly brings you happiness. When you stop chasing others, you gain the incredible power of empowerment. Chasing after someone else's success, dreams, or path can leave you feeling disempowered, constantly at the mercy of circumstances and comparisons. But when you finally let go of this constant pursuit, you take control of your own life. You are no longer bound by the expectations or achievements of others. Instead, you become the creator of your own future, making choices that reflect your true values, desires, and aspirations. This empowerment comes from within. It's the realization that you are the master of your own journey and that you have the ability to shape your life in a way that brings you true fulfillment. So often we are taught that success means following a prescribed path, whether it's a career trajectory, a specific lifestyle, or living up to the image of what someone else has achieved. But when you stop chasing others, you free yourself from these external pressures. You stop looking over your shoulder at where others are, and instead you start focusing on where you want to go. This shift in focus brings a sense of clarity and direction that can be life-changing. Empowerment means taking ownership of your actions and your choices, instead of constantly seeking validation or approval from those around you. It's the ability to make decisions based on what feels right for you, not based on what someone else thinks you should do. This shift from external to internal validation is key to living a life that feels authentic and satisfying. You stop waiting for permission to pursue your dreams. Self-empowerment, CDC, means taking control of your own life. You stop wondering if you're good enough by someone else's standards. Instead, you trust your own instincts and wisdom, which allows you to move forward with confidence. As you stop chasing others, you also start to see just how capable you truly are. For so long, you may have relied on the success or approval of others to measure your own worth. But when you step away from that constant pursuit, you begin to understand that your worth is intrinsic. You don't need anyone else's permission or acknowledgement to feel proud of yourself. The more you rely on your own capabilities, the stronger you become in your decision-making and in the way you navigate life's challenges. You realize that no one knows you better than you know yourself, and this knowledge becomes a source of great empowerment. This sense of empowerment also extends to your ability to bounce back from setbacks. When you stop chasing others, you stop fearing failure as a reflection of your worth. Instead, you start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow and learn. You no longer measure your success by how it compares to someone else's journey, but by how far you've come on your own path. This mindset shift creates resilience and a deep sense of personal strength, allowing you to face obstacles with a greater sense of confidence and optimism. The empowerment that comes from stopping the chase allows you to embrace your individuality. There's a deep sense of pride in knowing that you don't have to follow anyone else's script to create a life that's worth living. You start to see your uniqueness as a strength, not something to be hidden or altered to fit in. When you stop chasing others, you stop trying to mold yourself into someone else's image. Instead, you start embracing who you truly are, quirks and all, and this self-acceptance is a powerful form of empowerment. Empowerment is about reclaiming your personal power. It's about realizing that your life is yours to create and you don't need to chase anyone else to make that happen. Stopping the chase doesn't mean abandoning goals or aspirations. It means aligning those goals with your true self, free from the need to compare or compete with others. This freedom gives you the power to make choices that serve your happiness, peace, and success, not someone else's. It allows you to step into your fullest potential, knowing that your path, however it unfolds, is the right one for you. When you stop chasing others, one of the most significant changes you'll experience is freedom from anxiety. For much of our lives, we are conditioned to measure ourselves against the achievements, progress, and success of those around us. Social media amplifies this pressure by constantly showcasing the highlight reels of everyone's lives. We become consumed with comparing our journey to others, leading to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and anxiety. The constant need to keep up, to outperform, or to gain approval can weigh heavily on our mental and emotional health. However, when you stop chasing others and focus on your own path, the weight of this anxiety starts to lift. The first aspect of this freedom comes from relinquishing the idea that success is defined by someone else's standards. When you stop measuring your worth based on how well you're doing compared to others, you let go of the constant fear of falling short or failing. You stop worrying about what others are achieving or how they are doing things, and instead, you begin to focus on your own growth and progress. This shift in perspective can dramatically reduce the feelings of anxiety that stem from trying to live up to external expectations. Anxiety often arises when we feel like we're behind or not moving fast enough, especially when we compare our progress to the seemingly flawless paths of others. In a world where success is often portrayed as a linear trajectory, one where you graduate, find the perfect job, get promoted, buy a house, and live happily ever after, the reality can feel discouraging when your path doesn't look like that. The beauty of stopping the chase is realizing that there is no one right way to live your life. Everyone has their own timeline, and it's okay if yours doesn't align with others. By letting go of this constant race to catch up, you free yourself from the anxiety of not measuring up. When you stop chasing others, you also stop the cycle of constant comparison. It's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your life against someone else's success or happiness, thinking that if they have it, you should too. This comparative mindset breeds anxiety, as you start to focus more on what others have rather than appreciating what you have or the journey you're on. By embracing your own path without constantly comparing it to others, you begin to see that your experiences and progress are unique to you. This realization helps calm your mind and allows you to focus on what truly matters to you rather than the illusion of someone else's perfection. By stopping the chase, you give yourself permission to experience life without the pressure of perfection. Life doesn't need to be a competition, nor does it need to be flawless to be meaningful. The pursuit of perfection often brings anxiety because it sets unrealistically high expectations. When you let go of chasing others and release the need to constantly measure up, you begin to embrace the beauty of imperfection. You start to understand that mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey, not signs of failure. This shift in perspective reduces the anxiety tied to trying to achieve an impossible standard. Another powerful way that freedom from anxiety manifests when you stop chasing others is through the reduction of external validation. So much of the anxiety we feel is tied to the need for approval, likes, or recognition from others. We're taught that our value is determined by how others perceive us, and this constant need for validation can keep us on edge. But when you stop chasing others, you stop seeking approval, and instead you learn to find satisfaction in your own achievements, no matter how big or small. This internal validation fosters confidence and a sense of peace that reduces anxiety. The freedom from anxiety that comes from stopping the chase isn't just about eliminating pressure, it's about rediscovering the joy in the present moment. Instead of focusing on where others are or where you think you should be, you begin to appreciate where you are right now. This shift in focus brings a sense of calm, allowing you to live more mindfully and experience life as it comes, without the constant worry about what's next or whether you're doing it right. When you stop chasing others, you give yourself the greatest gift, the gift of peace. You stop allowing external circumstances and comparisons to dictate your emotional state. Instead, you take charge of your own narrative, finding comfort in knowing that your journey is yours alone to define. This peace, born from shedding the anxiety of competition and comparison, allows you to live more authentically, focusing on what truly matters and letting go of everything else. When you stop chasing others, one of the most profound impacts on your life is the cultivation of genuine happiness. In a world that often encourages us to follow the paths of others, it's easy to get caught in a cycle of comparison, chasing after what others have or seem to be. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and frustration because no matter how hard you chase, it always seems like someone else is one step ahead. You may find yourself constantly trying to reach someone else's level of success or happiness, but in the process, you lose touch with what truly brings you joy. The moment you stop chasing others and focus on what makes you happy, you unlock the door to real, lasting fulfillment. True happiness comes from within, not from external achievements or possessions. When you stop looking outward for validation or happiness, you begin to look inward, and that's where the magic happens. Instead of following the mold of someone else's life, you start creating your own. You define what happiness means for you based on your own passions, values, and desires, rather than trying to live up to someone else's expectations or standards. This deep alignment with your true self brings a sense of contentment and peace that no external factor can provide. Many people mistakenly believe that happiness comes from achieving a certain level of success, wealth, or social status. They look at others and think, if only I had that, I'd be happy. However, this pursuit often leads to temporary satisfaction at best, and at worst, it creates a cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction. Chasing someone else's idea of success can leave you feeling unfulfilled because it's not aligned with your own aspirations or desires. By stopping the chase, you give yourself the opportunity to align your life with what truly matters to you. Begin to pursue this new adventure. Thomas Edison didn't once describe the importance of happiness in the same way that he did. He mentioned it once to individuals. When you stop chasing others, you also begin to appreciate the small things in life. Too often, we get caught up in the rush to achieve, to get ahead, and to keep up with those around us. In doing so, we miss out on the beauty of the present moment. Stopping the chase allows you to slow down, take a breath, and appreciate the simple joys in life. Whether it's a quiet afternoon, time spent with loved ones, or the satisfaction of pursuing a passion that truly excites you. Happiness isn't found in constantly moving forward or achieving more. It's found in enjoying the journey no matter where it leads. Another key to finding genuine happiness when you stop chasing others is the ability to embrace your own uniqueness. When you stop trying to fit into someone else's mold, you begin to see your own worth and value. You realize that you don't need to be like anyone else to be happy or successful. You are enough as you are, and this realization allows you to fully embrace your own individuality. Happiness is deeply tied to self-acceptance, and when you stop chasing others, you create the space to celebrate who you are without the need to compare yourself to anyone else. The journey to happiness through stopping the chase also involves letting go of the constant need for approval from others. When you stop living for the validation of others, you start to live for yourself. The weight of trying to meet the expectations of those around you lifts, and you begin to make decisions based on what feels right for you, rather than on how you think others will perceive you. This sense of freedom allows you to experience happiness on a much deeper level, because it's not contingent on external approval. It's a happiness that comes from within, born from the confidence to live authentically. Happiness grows when you focus on what brings you joy, not what others think you should enjoy. Everyone has different interests, passions, and sources of fulfillment. When you stop chasing others, you allow yourself the freedom to explore what truly excites you. Whether it's a career path, a hobby, or a way of living, you stop worrying about whether others approve and start doing what brings you joy. This pursuit of personal happiness becomes a driving force in your life, leading you to make choices that align with your values and passions, rather than trying to live someone else's dream. Stopping the chase opens up the possibility for a life filled with genuine happiness, because you stop measuring your worth against others and start creating a life that feels authentic and meaningful. You free yourself from the pressures of comparison and instead embrace your own journey. Happiness comes from within, and when you stop chasing others, you discover the profound joy that comes from living your life on your own terms, according to your own desires, and with full acceptance of who you are. When you stop chasing others, one of the most liberating experiences is the discovery of your true potential. Many of us are taught to follow a prescribed path, to look at those around us and emulate their success or lifestyle. We may find ourselves chasing after what others have achieved, believing that this is the key to our own happiness or success. However, in doing so, we often lose sight of our own abilities and talents. The moment we stop comparing ourselves to others and stop chasing their path, we unlock a deeper understanding of our own capabilities, which allows us to tap into the potential that was always within us. When you stop the chase, you begin to shift your focus from the external to the internal. Instead of constantly looking at others and wondering how they've achieved their goals, you start focusing on your own growth, strengths, and unique qualities. This shift in perspective allows you to tap into your authentic self, the person you are meant to be. No longer distracted by the paths others have taken, you begin to realize that you have your own unique journey to follow, with your own set of skills, passions, and abilities to discover. By stepping away from the chase, you give yourself permission to pursue your own dreams, unencumbered by the weight of comparison. As you begin to stop chasing others, you'll also start to realize that your potential has always been there, waiting to be discovered. For too long, we often base our worth on external comparisons, what others are doing or what we perceive them to have. But when you stop chasing others, you take a step back and allow yourself the time and space to reflect on your own life. You begin to recognize your skills and talents, the things that come naturally to you, and the areas in which you excel. This newfound self-awareness opens up the doors to endless possibilities. You start to realize that you don't need to chase anyone else's success because you already possess everything you need to create your own. One of the most empowering realizations that come with stopping the chase is that your true potential doesn't require you to be like someone else. For years, you may have been striving to be someone you admire, or looking to replicate the success of a role model. However, by doing this, you may have unknowingly limited yourself, believing that you have to fit into someone else's mold to achieve success. But when you stop chasing others, you realize that your own path to success is uniquely yours. There is no one else like you, and that makes your journey powerful and one of a kind. You stop seeing other people's success as the blueprint for your own, and begin to create your own definition of success, based on your passions and vision. By stopping the chase, you also stop wasting energy on things that don't serve you. Chasing others often leads to burnout and frustration because you're constantly trying to meet someone else's standards. When you focus on your own journey, you channel your energy into things that are meaningful to you. You stop comparing your progress to theirs, and you learn to celebrate your own achievements. Whether small or large, every step forward is an indication of your growth and potential. If you accept that you are, you are. And if this is you, you can take joy in success. And the more you embrace your own path, the more you discover just how capable you truly are, and the more motivated you become to push yourself toward even greater heights. Another critical aspect of discovering your true potential is the ability to fail and learn. When you're constantly chasing someone else's success, failure often feels like a personal defeat, something to be avoided at all costs. But when you stop chasing others, you begin to view failure differently. Instead of seeing it as a setback, you see it as an opportunity for growth. You realize that every failure is a stepping stone toward success, and that it's not about being perfect. It's about learning, adapting, and becoming stronger. Stopping the chase allows you to embrace your mistakes as part of your unique journey, knowing that they contribute to the person you are becoming.